the sign you were promised. Archangel Michael says, "This is the message you asked God for in silence, my beloved child." Listen closer, because this moment is not random. Your spirit did not land here by accident. Archangel Michael says, this is the exact message you silently prayed for when nobody knew what you were carrying inside your chest. This is not the kind of message that appears for just anybody. This appears only when heaven is signaling that the promise is finally activating. You begged God in silence. You cried but didn't say anything. You were in pain and didn't tell anyone about it. You didn't tell anyone what you really wanted, but you haven't heard it. And the sign you were promised is about to come to you today. This is the message you asked for in secret, in the realm of the unseen. Right now is the moment of truth. This is where the invisible can be seen. Here is where what you whispered in the dark is now seen by everyone. And Archangel Michael isn't just talking for fun. He's speaking because the time has come for the silent prayer you sent up months ago to come true. Some very strong things are happening, and you can feel them in your body. While you listen to this, you can feel your heart moving. Your spine is chilling. You may feel a strange pressure inside you that something big is about to happen. And this feeling isn't made up. This is recognizing spiritual truth. This is what your soul has been waiting for a long time to see. Read slowly, as this is not the time to rush. This message doesn't seem right. There's no chance in this. This is an appointment from God. You were told this would happen long before you understood how it could. This is the change you've been waiting for, even when life tried to get you to give up and leave. The Archangel Michael tells you that the sign you were promised is very close. Heaven is putting your life on a path that leads to the exact thing you prayed for in silence. You didn't just break. You didn't lose for no reason. You weren't made to suffer for no reason. Every choice you made, every heartbreak, every silent tear, and every disappointment brought you closer to this very moment. Heaven didn't waste anything, didn't ignore anything, and didn't miss anything. The energy you have is changing. Your frequency is getting better. Your spirit is going through a portal to a place where the old you doesn't exist anymore. The person who has always had to survive is being changed into the person who will finally get something. The part of you that was always being tested is being replaced by the part that is finally getting something good. This is not speaking to inspire people. This is the truth of spirit. The change was already in the air for you before this message got to you. You could feel this message coming at you through dreams, random thoughts, odd timing, strange signs, and patterns that kept happening, because your fate is no longer hidden in promises. People who didn't believe in you will be the first to see you rise. They who made fun of you will be unable to speak. The people who hurt you will feel bad about the day they tried to break your spirit. You're not about to start a season of getting even. You are about to enter a time when God's promises will come true. When you got tired of crying by yourself, you asked God for this sign. If your heart was tired, this is the sign you asked God for. You asked God to show you something real, even if no one else sees it. This is the sign you got. That sign is this message. That proof is this message. This message is that supernatural proof. Please don't listen by accident. Your soul is in sync with God's timing, and Archangel Michael is letting your life's dreams come true. Watch out. A much bigger surprise is coming. Heaven knew you were ready for the long-awaited confirmation as soon as you crossed over into this message. My beloved child, the sign you were told about has been following you around like a hidden orbit, waiting for the right time to arrive. And Archangel Michael says, every delay that made you question your worth was actually divine synchronization. There were moments where you thought God forgot you. There were moments where you thought your destiny expired. There were moments where you believed your prayer went unheard. But the truth is, every silent prayer you whispered inside your heart became spiritual instruction in the angelic realm. You were not ignored. You were being prepared. You were not abandoned. You were being positioned. The promise attached to your soul needed you to grow into the version of yourself who could hold the blessing without breaking under the weight of it. And Archangel Michael says, this is where the shift becomes undeniable. You are walking into a moment where supernatural clarity is going to strike your reality like sudden lightning. You will start seeing divine alignment in places you used to see disappointment. You will start seeing confirmation inside conversations that seem random. You will start hearing your name in places where your destiny is being discussed spiritually behind the scenes. The sign you were promised is not coming quietly. It is coming with power, visibility, evidence, boldness, and divine authority. And the crazy thing is, people who tried to block you will not be able to stop this manifestation. They do not have clearance to interfere with this next stage of your life. You spent years thinking you needed people to validate you, but heaven is revealing that the people who walked away were removal for your protection. You had to lose certain relationships because they could not handle the favor God was preparing to release over you. You had to lose certain spaces because those spaces were limiting the expansion your soul was designed for. The rejection that once hurt you deeply was a redirection that guided you into your divine lane. Archangel Michael says the version of you standing here today is no longer the same version that entered those battles crying. Your spirit matured, your wisdom expanded, your emotional resilience evolved. You learned how to trust silence. You learned how to trust divine timing. You learned how to trust that some of the most powerful answers arrive without noise or announcement. There is a reason your spirit feels different right now. There is a reason your heart feels like something big is coming. There is a reason you feel like everything in your life is resetting from inside out. Your spirit knows before your logic knows. Your intuition recognizes destiny before your mind understands the process. The sign that is coming to you is not subtle. It will be so clear that it will make you freeze for a second and say, this cannot be coincidence. But Archangel Michael says, this is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration. The sign will carry 3 effects the moment it appears. First, your inner doubt will break instantly. Second, your inner fear will lose its hold. Third, your inner spirit will expand with a level of certainty you have never experienced before. The sign is not about giving you temporary encouragement. The sign is about shifting your identity, your belief system, your frequency, and your entire field of manifestation. The sign is about rewriting your inner narrative from survivor to chosen one. It is about activating the part of you that finally knows it is safe to receive blessings without fear of them being taken away. It is about ending the spiritual cycle of waiting endlessly without evidence. The evidence is coming. People think you are patient because you don't react. But Archangel Michael says you are patient because spiritually you already know what belongs to you cannot miss you. You already know what God promised you cannot be stolen permanently. You already know what was assigned to your soul before birth will reach you regardless of who disagrees, who talks behind you, who tries to block you, who tries to delay you. The divine signature in your destiny is unbreakable. You are entering a timeline where manifestation is not going to feel like a long struggle, but a natural outcome. You are entering a phase where blessings will not come drop by drop, but in waves and clusters. You are entering a season where your value will be recognized without you explaining yourself. You are entering a chapter where you do not beg for support. People will voluntarily align themselves to you because they will sense the light around your journey. Archangel Michael says that your next season is not just elevation, it is revelation of value. People who never saw your spirit before will suddenly understand why you were different. They will see why your energy was rare. They will finally recognize why you were separated for a higher purpose. You must not shrink anymore. You must not doubt your worth anymore. You must not suppress your authenticity anymore. You must not think small anymore. You must not carry the emotional wounds from the past into this next stage. The door that is opening for you is not like the previous doors. This door does not require begging. This door does not require fighting for validation. This door does not require proving yourself to anybody. This door opens simply because heaven said it is time. This sign is going to come fast. The shift will not be slow. The shift will not be delayed again. The shift will not require suffering again. When the sign arrives, everything that used to confuse you will suddenly make sense. You will understand why God blocked certain connections. You will understand why certain people disappeared. You will understand why timing felt unfair. You will understand why the storm did not destroy you. You will understand why the blessing is arriving now. This is the sign you silently asked for in the darkness of your hardest nights. And before this sign manifests, Archangel Michael wants you to do one thing. Hold your faith unbroken. Faith is the agreement in the spiritual realm that gives heaven permission to release what belongs to you. Faith is the code. Faith is the unlock key. Faith is the spiritual password that tells the universe you are ready to receive. And because you are here reading this exact message, out of millions of possibilities, heaven already knows your faith passed the test. Now listen carefully. This part is very important for your manifestation path. If you truly want this message to activate in your timeline, you need to keep this energy flowing by engaging directly with this transmission. So take 1 second and drop a comment, share this message and subscribe so this divine energy stays aligned with your spirit in the frequency of receiving. This is not about algorithm. This is about spiritual agreement. When you comment, you anchor the manifestation. When you share, you expand the blessing. When you subscribe, you align your journey with the path heaven is pulling you toward. Everything is shifting in your favor. Now, the sign you were promised is real, and it is coming toward you faster than you expect. My beloved child, this next part is where your soul begins to understand why your spirit could feel this before your reality could show it. Because the sign that is coming for you is not just a symbol or a coincidence. It is a direct spiritual message that is carrying divine confirmation of what God promised you in silence. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven waited until you reached emotional maturity, until you reached spiritual stability, until your internal strength became unshakable before releasing this sign into your path. You wouldn't have known how important this sign was if it had come 6 months or a year ago. You would have looked it over. You would have asked about it. It would have made you afraid to trust it, because your heart was still trying to heal from past hurts. You would have turned down the blessing. But now you are emotionally clear enough to take this sign without doubt, fear, or confusion. Every painful part of your life, was actually helping you grow spiritually. Every broken heart you went through was quietly teaching you something. Every betrayal you went through took away people who couldn't be with you on this next level of your destiny. God didn't break you to destroy you. God hurt you to fix you. God didn't take away people to leave you alone. God got rid of people who were going to ruin the miracle that heaven had planned for your future. There was no reason for the silence you had to deal with. God was changing your frequency to match the version of you that could receive supernatural blessings without losing your mind, emotions, or spirit. You know deep down that this is the moment you need to change. You know that your energy isn't the same as it used to be. You know deep down that you are no longer just hoping. Sure, things are coming your way. That's why the air around you feels different. That's why your dreams are so weird. That's why you feel stronger in your chest when you wake up. This is the reason you think someone is watching over your journey from another world. The Archangel Michael has been sent to help you with this change. That's why this message was so strong, so precise, and so clear to you. Because the sign you were promised is now being shown to you in heaven. You won't expect this sign to show up where you think it will. When your mind is calm, it will come to you. It will happen at a time that doesn't seem important. It will feel normal and strange at the same time. It can be a name. You might hear a door open. It could be money. It could be a sudden message. It could be someone coming back. It can happen out of the blue like a miracle. You will know right away that this is the sign you begged God for when no one was listening, though. Your body will do something. For a split second, your heart will slow down. Your breath will stop because the soul always knows what is true before the mind fully comprehends it. Archangel Michael says, the reason this feels so spiritual to you right now is because this blessing was written before your birth. You were not created to live in cycles of pain, waiting, disappointment, and settling. You were created to experience fulfillment, divine alignment, elevated purpose, deep emotional healing, genuine love, financial breakthrough, spiritual clarity, and supernatural acceleration. And the sign that is coming to you is not only about confirming what you asked for. It is about activating your next level. It is the bridge that shifts your story beyond survival into divine expansion. It is the moment where the unseen becomes seen. It is the moment where your spirit becomes unstoppable, because now you finally have confirmation that heaven did not lie to you. And listen carefully. The moment this sign appears, your energy will shift so strongly that you will not even be able to entertain old doubts again. You will not fear the future anymore. You will not question your worth anymore. You will not overthink your decisions anymore. Because when God confirms something, confusion loses all power. The sign removes the fear. The sign removes the overthinking. The sign removes the insecurity. The sign dissolves every lie that trauma ever tried to make you believe about yourself. The sign reprograms your identity into the version of you that is chosen and backed by heaven. This sign will also trigger unexpected movement in your external world. People who ignored you will suddenly notice you. People who doubted you will suddenly talk about you. People who walked away will try to return. Opportunities that refused to appear before will suddenly open fast. Connections that were blocked will suddenly become available again. What you could not force on your own heaven will make possible effortlessly. Because when something is divine timing, effort becomes alignment. Your journey is moving into a chapter where every struggle you survived becomes spiritual evidence of why you deserve to receive what is coming now. Your tears were not wasted. Your pain was not wasted. Your patience was not wasted. Archangel Michael tells her, the world is not ready to understand how powerful your story is about to become. Those who thought your silence meant you lost will be shocked when they see how heaven turns it into a wonderful victory. You are moving into a time period where your spiritual identity is finally being recognized. There is a reason for the sign that is coming. It's the sign of activation. The promise can be found in the key. God is always on time, even when you feel like He has forgotten about you. This is proof that what you silently asked for would always come back to you many times over. You are not by yourself as you watch this. Heaven is watching as you take this in. Angels are responding to the fact that your spirit has picked this up. This message is coming to you just at the right time, because it's the exact sign the universe told you it would be. Before the sign shows up in real life, Archangel Michael wants to get to the heart of what this message really means for you emotionally. The sign you were told about isn't just a prayer answered. It's a spiritual change that will change how you see yourself, how you welcome blessings, how you trust the unknown, and how you move forward from now on. You felt like you were fighting invisible battles by yourself and carrying heavy loads that your heart didn't know how to let go of. You begged God in your heart for just one clear moment of confirmation, so you could take a deep breath and know that everything you went through was for a reason. This message isn't making you feel bad about yourself. This message shows you the divine base on which your next big breakthrough will be built. Archangel Michael says, the reason you had to go through seasons of isolation is because heaven needed to remove every voice that could have contaminated your belief system, weakened your confidence, or influenced you to sabotage your future. There were people around you who could not handle your destiny. There were people around you who wanted to benefit from your spirit, but not support your growth. There were people around you who pretended they loved you, but secretly envied what God placed inside you. And every time God took someone away, you thought you were being abandoned, but actually, you were being protected from spiritual interference that could have blocked this sign from manifesting. You are entering a moment where heaven will not allow anyone who carries jealousy, envy, doubt, malice, manipulation, or hidden negative intentions to remain in your field. The reason you feel like connections are shifting is because your destiny is recalibrating. The sign that is coming will require a new emotional atmosphere. The sign that is coming will require a new level of spiritual peace. The sign that is coming will require a new mindset that is not controlled by fear, trauma, or past expectation. Because when this sign arrives, it will not only confirm what you asked for, it will accelerate your life into a level where everything starts moving quicker, smoother, and more in your favor than ever before. Archangel Michael says this sign is going to come with supernatural clarity. You will see things clearly that were once confusing. You will see people's true intentions without asking anything. You will feel guided toward the right decisions without doubting yourself. You will have inner certainty that is so strong that even your old insecurities will not be able to challenge your belief anymore. This clarity is what activates divine manifestation without resistance. You will not sabotage your blessings anymore by thinking you don't deserve them. You will not question whether you are worthy. You will not think small. You will not shrink to make other people comfortable. You will rise into your true identity without apologizing. This sign is not coming to give you temporary emotional comfort. This sign is coming to change the direction of your life permanently. The silent requests you sent to God will now return as undeniable proof that your suffering was not your destiny. The pain you carried was simply preparation. The heartbreak you experienced created room for the blessing that will fit your soul without breaking it. The spiritual exhaustion that made you doubt whether God was still with you is now being replaced by supernatural strength that will make you unstoppable in your divine calling. Archangel Michael says, there is a reason why you feel like you are stepping into the unknown. There is a reason why you are being pushed to trust your intuition more than ever before. There is a reason why you feel like something massive is building behind the scenes. Because in the unseen realm, doors have already opened, agreements have already been made, paths have already aligned. Angelic forces have already shifted the direction of your reality. And within this alignment, the sign you were promised is already moving toward you. You are not entering a season of waiting. You are entering a season of receiving. The world you knew will not be the world you live in next. You are not just getting a breakthrough. You are getting a new life path. The spiritual world has already cleared the way for the blessing you waited so long for. What once was blocked will now flow. What once was hidden will now reveal itself. What once seemed impossible will now feel natural. The sign you asked for is going to show you that God was listening the entire time. And Archangel Michael wants you to understand something extremely important from this exact moment onward. The more you speak your truth, the more powerful your manifestation becomes. When you claim your blessing, heaven aligns faster. When you stay connected to this frequency, your reality transforms quicker. When you anchor yourself in faith, the universe moves in your favor without resistance. So right now, align yourself with this message by engaging your energy into this spiritual transmission. Comment your faith. Share this message so it reaches another soul who needs this same confirmation, and subscribe so your spirit stays connected to this divine frequency of manifestation that Archangel Michael is opening over your storyline. This moment is not random. This moment is a divine crossroad. This message is not just a script. This is a spiritual activation. And every second you continue reading, you go deeper into the timeline where your miracle is already prepared. The sign you were promised is magnetically pulling toward you. Now something huge is about to unfold in your life in a way that will make sense of every silent prayer, every painful memory, every moment of confusion. Every night you cried in silence while nobody knew what you were fighting alone. You are not stepping forward as the same version of yourself anymore. You are stepping forward as the chosen one who receives. And sooner than you expect, this sign will appear so clearly that it will feel like heaven placed it right in front of your eyes and whispered, "Here is the proof that I never left you." This is the season where your spirit becomes magnetic. This is the chapter where you attract what matches your frequency instead of chasing what drains your soul. This is the stage of your journey where what you lost returns to you in a higher, healthier, and more divine form. The universe is preparing to honor you in ways you never experienced before. And when that sign arrives, everything inside you will feel like it finally clicks into place. This message is not just narration. This is spiritual prophecy being spoken directly into the timeline of your life. And as you continue reading each part, you pull that sign closer and closer into your physical world. The more your spirit aligns with this message, the faster manifestation accelerates. My beloved child, this part begins from a deeper realm of divine truth, where Archangel Michael says there is no longer any spiritual blockage between you and the sign that belongs to you. What was once delayed is no longer delayed. What was once held back is now being released. What was once silent is now being spoken. The spiritual world is shifting in real time as you read this, aligning your timeline with the exact outcome you asked God for. In silence, the sign you were promised is not just approaching your life. It is entering the final stage of manifestation. You are not in the waiting hallway anymore. You are at the threshold where heaven is about to hand you the evidence that your faith was never in vain. Everything in your journey was divinely sequenced. Everything that happened was connected. Nothing was random. You walked through seasons that tested the limits of your emotional survival. You went through storms where you felt like you were drowning inside your own thoughts. You carried pain that no one understood. You suffered in silence while everyone assumed you were okay. But Archangel Michael says, heaven always knew the truth behind your silence. God always knew the reason for each private tear. You prayed for a miracle, even though you didn't know how it would happen. Heaven was planning the exact steps that would bring you to this moment of confirmation. This sign isn't like other signs. This is the kind of sign that changes the course of your life. This is the kind of sign that makes timelines work. This is the kind of sign that lets things come into being. This is the kind of sign that means the end of one life cycle and the start of a new spiritual life. It's not just a sign for you. A new level of your divine identity is being given to you, because you will never look at yourself the same way again after this sign shows up in real life. You'll never think small again. You will never doubt your worth again. You will never again believe that you have to settle just to stay alive, because this sign from heaven tells you that you were picked and set apart long before anyone else tried to describe you. The Archangel Michael says that this sign will appear when your heart feels really calm. You won't feel stressed. You won't have to worry. You won't have too much on your mind. You will feel calm, grounded, free, and not under any pressure. That's when this sign will show up, and as soon as it does, you'll know it right away. There won't be any mental mess. No one will think too much. There will be no question, because your soul already knows what it is and how to find it. Your spirit will click in a way that only the dead can understand, and you will feel a direct energetic recognition. That's how strong this sign is. Before this sign shows up in the real world, your spiritual energy will be raised. Your gut feeling will get stronger. You will be able to sense divine alignment better. It will be easier for your mind to spot coincidences. You'll start to notice patterns that keep coming up around you. Names, numbers, times, feelings, dreams, and sudden events that feel too accurate to ignore will show up. These are the first waves of signs coming into your life. This sign will do more than just confirm something about your fate. Also, it will show you something about what is being taken away from your way. Because not everyone in your life during the blessing phase is meant to stay. Some people were only there during the battle. Some people were only a part of the change. Some people were made clean as part of the process. For the blessing phase, you need a smaller circle, a clean space, a safe frequency, and a spiritually secure atmosphere. Before this sign shows up, Archangel Michael is getting rid of any hidden forces that might get in the way of your manifestation. Heaven will not let anything bad get into your blessing. Heaven won't let anything change in your breakthrough timeline. Heaven won't let anyone mess up this next chapter. On a level you don't even fully understand yet, you are being spiritually protected. This is the reason why you've been feeling more energy lately. That's why you avoid some conversations. This is why being around some people makes you feel tired right away. This is why your spirit immediately leaves places with low vibrations. You're not being rude to other people. You are being watched over spiritually because the sign you were promised is too important to be surrounded by low-frequency noise. Heaven is purposely making your spiritual environment tighter. When this sign shows up, it will open a doorway that will speed up your life in heaven in every way. Your money will change snorts. The people you know will change. The way you feel will change. Your desire to do things will change. Your faith will grow. Because this sign is more than just a message, it will help you find your way. It's the switch that starts your next chapter. The Archangel Michael tells you that you need to do something very important right now. You need to keep this frequency in mind. Fear, doubt, lack, and scarcity should not be in your energy. Instead, you should keep it in the vibration of receiving. Because this message is actively making the world you are about to enter more real. With each word you read, spiritual momentum is built up that brings the sign closer and closer to you. This is where your part in the manifestation becomes a part of it. Hey, snorts, you need to ground your spirit in divine agreement if you want this sign to show up faster. It's possible to do that by responding to this message as if you already know that this sign will come true. So please take a moment to leave a comment to show your faith. Please share this message right away and subscribe so that you don't miss this frequency. Your participation is more than just what you do online. It's an alignment of the spirit. You are telling heaven, I'm ready to receive. I'm all set. I'm in line. I agree with what's going to happen. This is how you speed up the process of manifestation. This is not the time to hide away. You shouldn't be scared at this point. You won't get smaller during this phase. Now is the phase where you grow. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to stand in the identity that God gave you. The name of someone who has been picked out, seen, and cared for, and who is now finally facing divine fulfillment after a long time of waiting in the dark. There's nothing that can stop the sign you were promised from coming. That's it, my dear child. This is where the energy around your destiny changes from spiritual signaling to spiritual arrival. Angel Michael tells us that as the sign gets closer to you, your soul will start to feel a strange inner stillness. This is not emptiness, but divine stillness. This is because heaven doesn't need to speak loudly all the time. At some point, your spirit knows that what is about to happen can't be changed or stopped. And it's already sealed in the spiritual world. Now you're getting to that stage. The stage where the sign is so close that your spirit can feel and understand the weight of the moment before it shows up in the physical world. Do not get lost in this silence. This is not the sound of hold up. As the work is done, there is silence. This is the silence that heaven uses before things start to show up. So calm down now, because soon you'll see divine confirmation. Archangel Michael says, right now, the universe is rearranging situations, adjusting people's decisions, realigning events, and locking timelines into perfect synchronization. You are not seeing these changes with your physical eyes yet, but your spirit is feeling it. You are sensing this inward elevation. Your inner knowing is waking up at another level. You are feeling yourself disconnect emotionally from everything that no longer belongs to your destiny. You are naturally letting go of certain attachments without pain. You are beginning to detach from old self-identity without forcing it. This is happening because you are being prepared to enter the timeline where this sign becomes reality. The old emotional version of you cannot walk into this new alignment. The version of you who constantly feared rejection, betrayal, abandonment, disappointment, heartbreak, and unpredictable endings is now dissolving. That version of you is no longer required for where God is taking you. The emotional DNA inside your spirit is changing right now. The belief system inside your heart is rewiring. The trauma that once controlled your decisions is losing access to your subconscious. You are not in a healing chapter anymore. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. You are now in a chapter about activating your healed identity. Heaven isn't sending you breakthrough, just so you can feel safe for a little while. Heaven is sending you blessings that will become the norm for you. Because of this, the sign you were promised is real. From now on, this sign will always remind you of how things have changed. One day you'll look back and say that one sign made everything different. You'll say it with peace, not fear. Your destiny is growing beyond the limits you set for yourself after a traumatic event. There are some people in your life who were never meant to see this part of your rise. Some of the things you wanted to put an end to were never meant to be healed by explanation. They were meant to be healed by elevation. There is a reason why God got rid of some people without sending you an emotional message. Because they were the hurt, not the promise. They were linked to the pain, not the future. They weren't meant to be a blessing, but part of the lesson. The sign you're about to see will also show you why they had to leave at this time. Archangel Michael says, you are entering the realm of confirmation where heaven does not speak through words, but through divine evidence. And when this evidence arrives, everything about your life direction will make sense. The heartbreaks will finally make sense. The confusion will finally make sense. The delays will finally make sense. The waiting will finally make sense. Because this sign is the missing puzzle piece that connects your past suffering to your future purpose. The meaning you could not understand before will be revealed instantly the moment this sign appears. This sign will not require you to question whether it is real. Your soul will recognize it instantly. Your heart will expand when it appears. Your spirit will settle. Your nervous system will calm. You will not panic. You will not fight it. You will not reject it. You will receive it because your body will know this is what heaven held back until the time was right. This is what your heart cried for when you were alone. This is what your spirit requested in silence. And the sign will prove that every prayer was heard, every tear was counted, every moment was seen. Archangel Michael says now is the time to remain open, receptive, grounded, and in full trust. The universe is not preparing you for disappointment. The universe is preparing you for confirmation. There is a new cycle beginning inside your reality. A cycle where blessings are not delayed. A cycle where alignment is natural. A cycle where you do not have to fight for what heaven already wrote with your name on it. A cycle where ease replaces struggle. A cycle where peace replaces fear. A cycle where clarity replaces confusion. And this cycle begins the moment this sign reaches you. Your spirit already feels like something in your story is reaching a powerful final stage. That is why your emotions are quieter now. That is why your nervous system is stabilizing. That is why old triggers are not reacting inside you the way they used to. You are outgrowing the version of yourself that survived and stepping into the version of yourself that receives. This is not about becoming someone new. This is about becoming who you were always meant to be. This is about returning to your original divine identity before the world wounded you, before trauma shaped you, before heartbreak restricted you. This sign will restore the original version of you that was chosen before the pain ever existed. This is not the time to look backwards. This is not the time to doubt yourself. This is not the time to question whether it is possible. This is not the time to shrink yourself to avoid disappointment. This is the time to stand still in faith. This is the time to hold a grounded belief. This is the time to trust your inner knowing, because your spirit is not lying to you. Your intuition is not confusing you. The heaviness you feel is not anxiety. It is divine anticipation. The sign is coming closer, my beloved child. This is where the spiritual shift becomes undeniable inside your inner world. This is where your soul begins to feel the weight of destiny pulling you forward into a reality that you have not touched yet, but you already spiritually recognize. Archangel Michael says, the sign you were promised is now entering the stage where physical alignment and spiritual assignment meet in one point. This is the phase where the invisible becomes undeniable. This is the phase where your spirit will begin to sense which direction your blessing will appear from. You will begin to feel drawn towards something specific. You might not fully understand why you feel a soft pull in a direction that logically makes no sense, but spiritually feels accurate. Trust that. That is your alignment sharpening. That is heaven guiding your intuition before the sign arrives. You might start feeling like something huge is moving behind the scenes in silence. You might feel like something is preparing itself to show up in your physical dimension at any moment. And you would be right, because heaven is now finalizing the release. Archangel Michael says the biggest challenge in this phase is not external battle. The biggest challenge in this phase is internal emotional surrender, because your spirit is no longer preparing to survive. It is preparing to receive. That shift alone is massive. Your identity has been built on endurance, resilience, pain tolerance, heartbreak tolerance, emotional self-defense, and the ability to keep going even when your mind and body were tired. You survived chapters that would have broken someone weaker than you. You walked through storms that would have destroyed someone less spiritually aligned than you. You endured situations that were designed to break your self-worth, but instead they built a strength inside you that you did not even realize was forming. And now heaven is telling you it is time to walk differently. You are not fighting anymore. You are receiving. You are not protecting yourself from laws anymore. You are embracing divine confirmation. You are not bracing for disappointment anymore. You are stepping into divine fulfillment. This is where your spirit must allow itself to believe without fear. You must let go of the emotional expectation that everything good will eventually turn bad. You must release the unconscious belief that everything beautiful will eventually disappear. That trauma does not belong to you anymore. You do not need to hold it. You do not need to prepare for heartbreak. You do not need to anticipate betrayal. You do not need to fear the unknown, because what is coming towards you is not loss, it is promise. What is coming towards you is not destruction, it is fulfillment. What is coming towards you is not abandonment, it is divine arrival. Your soul must be willing to let the old timeline expire completely. You cannot take fear into the new dimension. You cannot take anxiety into the new realm. You cannot take old self-sabotaging patterns into the new phase. Because the version of you that receives this sign is not the version that was created through survival wounds. The version that receives this sign is built on divine identity. Archangel Michael says something inside you is shifting permanently. You are beginning to feel neutral when people from your past try to emotionally affect you. You are beginning to feel disconnected from old narratives that used to make you overthink. You are beginning to feel like every time you try to imagine worst-case outcomes, your spirit does not allow you to sit in that frequency anymore. That is not coincidence. That is spiritual elevation. That is your frequency rising. That is your nervous system resetting. That is your soul preparing for the reality of blessing instead of the expectation of loss. You are entering a phase now where your faith is not fragile anymore. You are entering a phase where believing comes naturally to you. You are entering a phase where you no longer need evidence before you allow yourself to trust the promise. And this is why the sign will have so much power when it appears, because heaven waited until you were strong enough to believe without conditions. Heaven waited until you had enough spiritual maturity to not need external validation before trusting divine timing. Heaven waited until you detached from needing guarantees, because now the sign is going to arrive at a moment where you no longer fear receiving what you prayed for. Archangel Michael says the sign is going to be gentle but powerful. It will not scream. It will not shock you in a violent way. It will feel like a soft but absolute truth entering your life. It will feel like peace swallowing your doubt. It will feel like divine familiarity. You will not second guess whether this is the sign. Your spirit will instantly know. And the moment you recognize it, the shift inside you will be irreversible. From that moment forward, the idea of being unworthy will never return. The idea that God forgot you will never return. The idea that you are forced to fight alone forever will never return, because the sign will prove permanently that heaven never left you. This upcoming season of your life is not a season of slow manifestation. This is a season of rapid alignment. Your reality will begin to shift faster than your past could prepare you for. People will start noticing you suddenly leveling up. Opportunities will appear without warning. Conversations that matter will unfold naturally. Doors that felt sealed shut for years will unlock without struggle. You are not stepping into luck. You are stepping into divine recompensation. You are stepping into spiritual repayment for everything you lost. You are stepping into a destiny timeline that was always meant to be yours. From this moment forward, you must walk with a new inner posture. You must walk with the identity of someone who knows the sign is already on the way. You must walk with the emotional confidence that you are chosen. You must walk with the spiritual certainty that your breakthrough is guaranteed, because the sign does not approach someone who doubts their deserving. The sign approaches someone who recognizes their divine inheritance. My beloved child, this is the part where everything internally aligns with the truth your spirit always knew, but never had the courage to fully claim. Archangel Michael says, the sign you were promised is the final closure gate between the version of you that lived reacting to life and the version of you that will now begin creating life. You worked hard for years to get through chapters that were hard to predict. No one knew about the battles you fought. No one saw you cry tears. People who never said sorry were forgiven. You stay loyal, even when people treat you like they could replace you. Some people you loved didn't know how to love you back. But all of those seasons were not pointless in terms of emotional pain. They were part of the divine plan to clean up your spirit and get you ready for the reality that is about to meet you in person. This message you got today is not just another piece of motivation. This is the manifestation message from heaven to help you understand how important and sacred the sign you are about to receive is. Archangel Michael says, you will not just see the sign. You will feel the sign. You will breathe differently when you see it. Your body will recognize it before your mind registers it. Your chest will lighten. Your shoulders will relax. Your heart rate will slow in a sacred way. And you will feel a sensation like I am finally safe now. That moment alone will change everything for you. Because for the first time in a long time, you will not be surviving. You will be receiving. For the first time in a long time, you will not fear the unknown. You will trust destiny. For the first time in a long time, you will not question if you are chosen. You will know that you are chosen. Your spiritual identity is being written through this sign. This is not just a shift in your belief system. This is a cosmic realignment of your timeline. Heaven is about to restore lost years. Heaven is about to return what you thought could never come back. Heaven is about to open doors that were welded shut. Heaven is about to reveal conversations that were held about you in rooms you were not present in. Heaven is about to turn what was meant to break you into the very keynote of the blessing that elevates you. The sign attached to this moment is marking the transition from unseen struggle to visible confirmation. Archangel Michael says there is a major reason why God did not allow you to settle. Every time you tried to settle, something in your soul felt uncomfortable. Every time you tried to force situations that did not align with your future, your intuition tightened. Every time you tried to tolerate what was not meant for you, your spirit felt restless. That resistance inside you was not failure. That resistance was heaven protecting your timeline from collapsing. You were not meant to shrink your destiny to fit into temporary emotional comfort. You were designed to wait for the sign that would lead you to your rightful blessing. This sign will not be loud to the world, but it will be loud inside your soul. It will confirm your next direction. It will confirm the next person who is safe for your path. It will confirm the next door that is your destiny door. It will confirm the next leap you should take. It will confirm the next stage you must step into without fear. You will not need to ask anyone for advice when this sign appears. You will not need to seek validation. You will not need to second-guess your next choice. The clarity this sign carries will silence your confusion instantly. Archangel Michael says that there is no need to chase the sign. It will arrive to you without force. Destiny does not require struggle. Manifestation does not require begging. What belongs to you will recognize you. What is written for you will seek you. What God promised you will locate you in the perfect moment without you needing to exhaust yourself for it. You must trust this universal law. What carries your name spiritually cannot miss you physically. And now, because you are entering the final threshold before manifestation, heaven needs you to stand unwavering in the identity of receiving. If doubt tries to return, dismiss it quickly. If fear tries to creep in, reject it immediately. If old wounds try to convince you you are not worthy, remind yourself that heaven would not prepare this level of manifestation if you were not qualified. God would not bring you to the gate if you were not meant to walk through it. Archangel Michael would not deliver this message if your sign was not already on the way. You will be surprised by how effortless everything feels once the sign arrives. Doors will open without struggle. Favor will appear without negotiation. Opportunities will unfold without strategy. Your steps will feel guided without confusion. This is the difference between destiny and effort. When effort tries to lead, you suffer. When destiny leads, you rise. In this next chapter, the universe will bring you connections that match your frequency. People whose souls recognize your value instantly. People who appreciate your energy without demanding you shrink yourself to fit in. People who pour into your spirit instead of draining it. People who align with your purpose instead of distracting you from it. People who celebrate your growth instead of being intimidated by it. These people will not enter by accident. They will enter because the sign is opening the gateway that leads directly into your next destiny phase. Your entire life is about to expand. Your emotional world is about to soften. Your intuition is about to sharpen even more. Your manifestation speed is about to increase dramatically. This is why Archangel Michael is telling you to remain grounded, spiritually clean, emotionally open, and mentally prepared. Because when this sign enters, it will not just confirm the promise, it will activate the season of fulfillment. And once this season activates, there is no going back. The message you asked God for in silence is finally arriving in reality. The conversation you had with God in your private tears has now been answered. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says, this is the moment where you breathe differently now, because the sign you were promised is no longer a future event. It's now moving into the present day. No longer do you need to worry, push, chase, or question. This is already sealed by heaven. Your spirit knows what's going to happen already. You got through everything that tried to break you so you could see this confirmation. From now on, walk like you've been picked. Walk as if your fate has already claimed you. Now the sign you asked God for is on its way. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open.